are now in the snow village, and well, I've got someone who can explain everything a lot better than I can.
Yeah.
Would you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Sandro. I'm from Switzerland, working in here and helping to build the snow village as well every year.
And when did you build it?
We started to build this year on 16th of November, and we had it ready like it is now on the 8th of December. So a little bit over 3 weeks with 30 people building it.
Wow. And there was enough snow?
There was kind of enough snow. It's all artificial snow, which you see here around. And we had really little snow and had to take also from the walls, from the outside walls, snow away that we can build the last structures as well.
And when does it start to melt?
It starts to melt in about mid-April. We have to close it because all the water is coming on the floors up. You can imagine it's like a pool in here. So we have to close it also for safety reasons. Even the structures never collapses. They are built like this that it won't collapse ever. It just melts down.
And how, what's the temperature inside here?
The temperature inside is between -3 and -6 constantly. It's, the snow is so good isolating that it can be -40 outside, but it won't get cooler inside ever.
And so it's not artificially at that temperature?
No, it's totally natural. If you would dig yourself an igloo somewhere, like they do sometimes, these mountain climbers or so on, they sleep in the snow. It's like constantly -3, -4.
Okay, amazing. Would you like walk me through and show me where we are right now?
Yes.
Thank you.
We are now here in the ice restaurant, ice bar. We have over here as well a poker table for our guests. They like that a lot.
Made out of
Ice, of course. Nothing else. Let me go a little bit further. Over here we have built made of ice again, of course, for our big groups, a big table, like made of ice, of course.
And how do you chisel these? Like how do you make them?
Like you can imagine it, so we pick the ice up from the river. It's actually natural material. We pick it up like 1 cubic meter at a time. You can imagine this cubic meter is really high and wide and it weighs 1 ton. It's 1,000 liter water, of course. And then we have a huge chainsaw which has a blade of maybe 1.5 meter, about 9 PS horsepowers, I can even tell you that. It's the biggest in Lapland. And we cut the pieces in the sizes we want them first. And we just put them kind of ugly first on the place. Put with water, we glue with water everything and put them on the ground that they are steady. Then we start to saw the surface really straight. And then afterwards we do the same again. We put like ugly blocks on the top, glue them on, and then in the end again we saw them straight. It's much more easier like this. You can imagine ice is moving kind of.
Yeah.
It's slippery, so it's much more easier when you just put them first there, glue them together, and then in the end you make the finished touch.
Who comes up with who designs this? Who designs the architecture?
Actually, this company, Snow Village, is owned by 3 brothers. And one brother is an engineer, the other one is one which has studied art, and the other one has just the skills to sell it. So the one which is engineer plans the whole structures and makes also every year the picture of the whole snow village. And the one which has studied art makes a lot of drawings on the walls, as you see now, and also makes them himself actually quite a lot in here.
Okay, I have one last question for you. Do you like I mean, it's hard work, right, building this?
Yes, it is. But we all which are working here are kind of crazy in the heads, and they like to shovel a lot, and they like to work 15, 16 hours a day without 3 days in 3 weeks. Maybe you can see it from my eyes, that's why I ask you about the makeup. And all those 30 people are really hard workers, and they like the snow, of course. If you don't like the snow, you don't need to come and work here. But in the end, you are really proud when you see around, like people likes it, and you see smiley faces, sometimes even tears in the eyes. It's so nice, because the most people, for them, it's a dream kind of to come here and visit.
Yeah. And I mean, watching people walk around it must make it worthwhile.
Yes, and it's nice to show, like to you as well, to show you what we have made. Even like this year it was really hard. We had so warm weather during the November and also rain coming down, wet rain, and you can see it on the ceilings. But people normally don't know because they don't know how it would look like if it would be perfect made.
Cool. Yeah. Could you show me maybe something that you've chiseled yourself? Apart.
I can show you the benches over there, for example,
Yeah.
or the tables, or I can show you the rooms. Like there's so much I have done, and also I can tell you that I have shoveled here outside, and like everybody is everywhere helping. Like it's really like we are a big family here when we are building, and you can say like, of course, sometimes somebody has made it their own, but the most of the times there's everybody helping and changing the people that they can warm up, and those go shoveling again and so on.
Gosh, yeah, it must get so cold.
Yeah, it is kind of cold if it's cold weather, of course. Yes. Yeah.
And so it took 3 weeks to build it.
Yes, right, 3 weeks only. Last year it took 4 weeks, but we had some free days even, and this year we just did it in 1 or like 3 weeks. Yeah.
And how many years have you been doing this?
It's the 10th year down here on this same place, so we have kind of anniversary. That's why we made also new reception building over there, and we put the restaurant on the other side. Like it makes it much more functional, the whole thing.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that was a brief introduction to the Snow Village, which will only be here for another 4 months. So by the time you see this, it's probably about time we started organising to get here, to be honest. It looks like it probably will come back again, because the reason why it's come back and back and back is because of how popular it's been. After he left, I realised a question I wanted to ask him, but he's gone to have to go and cater to some snow disaster. So this, I wanted to ask about how they light it, and it turns out that the way it is lit is through LED lights, protected with little styrofoam cases, clear styrofoam, so that firstly, obviously the lights are protected, but most importantly, the snow is protected, because they don't want it, they still produce a little bit of heat, and that little bit of heat could have a disastrous effect. So that everything is kind of like encased in snow. Everybody here has been encased in snow for so long. It's just remarkable.